Hey there, book nerds of the internet. Recently I went to a used bookstore sale and I bought a bunch of old books, so I'm really excited to show them all to you. So let's get started. The first one is Tess of the Durbervilles by Thomas Hardy. I'm going to be starting Far from the Madding Crowd by Thomas Hardy pretty soon, so I thought I'd go ahead and get one of his other really famous books so that I could, read a few and get a real good feel for who Thomas Hardy is and how he writes. So I'm kind of excited for this one, but also kind of not, because I've heard it's kind of a dramatic story about a poor girl who comes to some demise by putting her trust in the wrong people. Kind of a statement against culture and money and poverty and all of that. Not exactly looking forward to it, but I am, because his writing is really beautiful, so that's number one. Number two is Alice Walker's The Color Purple. This is one of those ones that I'm embarrassed that I haven't read yet. So this book was written back in the 80s and has won a ton of awards. It focuses on women of color in the South. It's set in Georgia during the 30s. And so I'm really excited to see, what all the hype is about, because I'm sure it's really, really good. Next, I have two books by Jean Stratton-Porter. Jean Stratton-Porter is known for her descriptions of nature. Her writings on flora and fauna are beautiful, and so I'm really excited to read these. Freckles is about a boy who lives in the Limberlost, which is a swampland in the Midwest, and I don't know much besides that. I'm sure there are plenty of adventures and things. And The Harvester is about a hero who's very much like Henry David Thoreau and his love, who he has to discover her mysterious background, so should be good. Next, I have an even older book, The Old Maid by Edith Wharton. This physical copy was actually made in 1924, so it's super old and smells super good because I love old books. And it's about the relationship between two women who are friends and who've made bad decisions and have to cope with them, and the sacrifices that they make for each other, and it should be good. I'm hoping it's good. Next is Carrie Fisher's Wishful Drinking. This is a memoir that Carrie Fisher played Leia in Star Wars. She wrote this about her life and her drug addictions and living and being raised by a woman who is super famous herself. Her mother's Debbie Reynolds, who is in Singing in the Rain, and so just all of her life struggles and all of that, and it doesn't look like too long of a read, so definitely going to get through that very soon. Next is Anna Karenina. I was inspired to purchase Anna Karenina by a book I read recently, where the main character's favorite book was Anna Karenina, and I figured, well, now that I've bought it at a used bookstore and have it, I have no excuse. Also, the cover is beautiful. Beautiful cover. Next, I bought a gorgeous copy of Anne of Green Gables. It's hardback, and I don't know, it just has the gold. I really, really like it. Anne of Green Gables is one of my favorite stories. Who doesn't like good old sassy Anne? So for those of you who don't know, this story is about a girl who was adopted into a family who couldn't have children, but they wanted to adopt a boy to help out on the farm, and they got Anne instead, and kind of the, fun exploits that happened because of it. It's super good, so definitely read it. And last, a little bit of a different flavor, I got a sci-fi. This is Robert Heinlein, one of my favorite sci-fi authors, and he wrote The Time for the Stars. So in this book, the world is overpopulated. We're looking for other worlds to inhabit because we need to spread out. And one of the problems is communication, because light years of distance, it's a problem. And so what they turn to is human telepathy. And so there are two twins in this book who are telepathic, and so they have to be separated so that they can be the communications between these two groups of people on Earth and then out in the stars. So one stays on Earth and ages, and the other one goes off into the stars, and because of physics, doesn't age as quickly, and so there's obviously some drama there as these twins become further and further both physically and age-wise, and I'm excited to read it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Those are the 9 books I bought at the used bookstore. Let me know what you guys have bought recently, whether you like newer books or older books, and definitely subscribe. I'll be coming out with more videos very soon. Thank you so much. See you next time.